Hi there and welcome to this week's Golf Equipment Q&A. I'm Valerie Melvin. I'm here with Frank Thomas and we're in the Frankly Frog Putting Studio here in Orlando, Florida, where we help you improve your putting. Frank, we've been 2 years. How long have we been talking about the groove rule, and now it's just, what a mess.
The chickens have come home to roost.
The chickens have come home to roost. We had a question from Kenny. Well, we've had a lot of questions, from all golfers just, wanting to know what Frank's take on all this is. But specifically, Kenny in New York had a nicely framed question where he wanted to know, has the change had any effect so far? And, what's your opinion, Frank, on the use of the Ping Eye 2 wedges in PGA Tour events by certain players like Phil?
Kenny, very good question, and unfortunately this was predicted. The USGA really didn't think about the consequences, all of the consequences of making this rules change. It was very hastily adopted without really any transparency, and we've got to recognize that. Now, secondly, it's too soon to determine whether or not it has had any effect on the performance of players. These guys are very good golfers, and eventually they'll adjust, and so I don't anticipate any change in scoring or any other performance measure. As far as cheating is concerned, that's a slanderous comment to make, and I think the implication that Phil was cheating is not fair, because the grooves that he was using have been grandfathered. The Ping Eye 2s that manufactured between 1985 and 1990 in March conform with the rules. So he's not cheating. Now we've got a problem, and as I mentioned, the chickens have come home to roost. This was predictable, and it's because we need to think very carefully about adopting a new, very disruptive rule. Make sure we've got a problem, make sure we've got a solution that's actually going to solve the problem, rather than hastily going into a new proposal. So that's what I think. The real villains in this case are the playwrights, it's not the actors.
Yeah, it just seems that it's the, if Scott McCarran had said more along the lines of, oh, it's just a bad rule, I don't agree with the rule, rather than accusing Phil of cheating. Yeah,
that would have been a little bit better, but it is a bad rule, and I think Phil and a number of other players believe that. Anyway, that's what we have this week, and I don't think this is going to be resolved in the next week or so.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, we'll be here to comment on it for you, and bring you the latest as we hear it and as we see it. So thanks to everyone for checking in, and we'll be back in touch next week.
Bye.